Hello my sweets, welcome back to Beauty Meets DIY. This is Helen. Thank you so much for watching. How are you guys? I have missed you so much, and I hope that you and your loved ones are all doing well, staying safe and healthy. My family is doing well considering. I know that I haven't uploaded in a while. It's just that there's a lot going on in our world right now, and I just kind of had to take a step back and regroup and just, you know, deal with life. I have a family of my own, so yeah. But anyway, I'm so happy to be back. So with no further ado, let's get right into the DIY. So these are my inspirations for what I'm creating today, my chandelier, and these go well over $1,000 or a few $100s online, Wayfair, and just different companies. And today we're just going to create it for very inexpensively. So to get started, what you're going to need from Walmart, Hobby Lobby, any craft store, even online, I will leave a link down below for these embroidery hoops. Today I'm using a 10-inch, and as you can see, it comes you know, kind of like a two-piece, and I will be using the inside embroidery hoop. And I'm going to use a second one from a second set that I had. So you're gonna go ahead and glue those together. Make sure where you buy them that they fit, you know, they're aligned. Mine was a little imperfect, but it wasn't really a big deal. So what you want to do is take some fine sanding paper. You want to give it a quick sand. I think this is going to help your paint and everything else to adhere, you know, on the inside, the outside, along the edges. Just a quick sanding. Next, you're going to be using these packs of pens from the Dollar Tree. They have an 8-pack and they also have a 10-pack. Obviously, you're going to use a 10-pack because you get more for your money. It doesn't matter if you get the blue one or the black one. We're only going to be using the outside. And with something sharp, without hurting yourself, go ahead and remove the top and the bottom. It should be fairly easy. Now, you have seen me use these pens in a previous DIY where I created those sconces using Dollar Tree napkin holders. I will link that video down below if you haven't seen it. Okay, so you're gonna need some lighting as well. I will link this one down below. This one has about 8 settings. I really like it. It's close to 40 feet long, so that's pretty good. You can use any type of light, even the pot lights, I think is what you call them, from Dollar Tree, but I think you want something that's remote control so you don't have to be going up and down, turning on and off the light. Here I'm just showing you the different settings that it has. And if you notice there, you can make the light a little brighter as well. Okay, so I went ahead and painted my white. You can paint it any color that you want. I went ahead and used wood glue. That didn't work out so well for me, so I went ahead and used E6000 with my hot glue, and that kind of did it. You want to give it at least a day to dry. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to use just half of my string light, just half. And I'm going to glue it all along the outside of my embroidery hoop. Obviously, when you glue this on, you want to go ahead and skip the little light bulb area and kind of glue around it ever so often throughout your embroidery hoop on the outside for now. So as you can see here, what I did was that I took the crushed glass and I placed it and I glue it with some hot glue around the light part, where the little bulbs are, because later on I'm going to adhere the rest of the crushed glass with Mod Podge, which I'll explain later wasn't the greatest idea, but I didn't want to obstruct the light, so I went ahead and kind of placed the crushed glass around the lights. And for some reason, when I wrapped the lights around, they all ended up in the same spot. Don't know why. But it's okay. So this is what I mean now. I've seen other people use Mod Podge for the crushed glass. I'm not fond of it. I think it's because my embroidery hoop wasn't laying flat, so they were falling off. It doesn't have an immediate hold, so I didn't like that. As you can see here, so that was a disaster. So what I did was, one by one, I glued them on. You want to use your E6000, I highly recommend it, and your hot glue so they can stay in place. Honestly, if you're watching a good movie, listening to music, talking to someone on the phone. It'll go by really fast. I actually enjoyed it, and I got to place it wherever it was, you know, wherever I wanted it to be, and it actually went fairly fast. So that's what I did. Okay, so here I'm grabbing some gold foil wrapping paper from the Dollar Tree and one of those barbecue skewers. I painted it silver from a previous project, but you want something skinny like this so you can tightly wrap around your paper and then stick it in the pen, just like you see here, and then you just want to snip off the excess. And I'm going to be using some clear pens and obviously with the foil. So here I separated my pens in packs of 10 because that's how they sell them, packs of 10. I just kind of wanted to get an idea how many packs I ended up using for a 10-inch embroidery hoop, and I would say you want to start with at least 8 packs. If you use a bigger one, then you're going to use a bigger, you're going to use more pens, obviously. I'm using my hot glue, but again, I recommend a very strong glue. And followed by your hot glue. And I'm pretty much alternating. What I'm creating is that staggered look that you saw from the inspiration pictures, different heights, but you can create any style that you want. I'm alternating between, you know, clear one, a gold one, 2 gold ones, a clear one. You can create your own pattern as you go, but this is what I'm doing. And just make sure, and I'll get more into this later, that you glue them on straight. And if you see the other half of my string light is going to go on the inside right now, right behind the embroidery hoop, so obviously so it doesn't show, and I'm just going to go around it. It's kind of a tedious thing, but in the end it's so worth it because it turns out beautiful. Okay, so let's stop for a moment. Let's go over a few things, a few mistakes that I don't want you to make. So what I ended up doing was that I applied 1 or 2 coats of Mod Podge on the outside. That was a bad idea because it ended up clouding out my crushed glass, and I didn't like that, obviously. So I had to go ahead with an X-Acto knife and remove every single crushed glass so I can expose the shine again. So go ahead and, you know, use a good glue, make sure it's in place, let it dry overnight, and then you don't have to coat it with anything. Another thing, my chandelier ended up a little, you know, crooked. So what I recommend is that those 4 points that you see in your embroidery hoop, you know, you take a pen and you place 1 pen in those 4 points so that you stabilize your chandelier. And then you can go ahead and proceed in placing the rest of the pens. And as you glue them on, please make sure that they're straight. I was on the phone while I was doing this and I got a little distracted. Next thing you know, they were a little slanted, and I tried to fix it. And hey, I think it turned out okay overall, but you want to, you know, pay attention that you're gluing it on right. So now for that middle part right there, we're going to hang our battery pack. I wish this was smaller. Not a big deal. It's not that heavy. You can plan on how you're going to do this before you glue on your pens, and even how you're going to hang the chandelier if you want to. It was an afterthought for me. It ended up working out, but you can do it how is, you know, it's best for you. So what I did was that I grabbed 2 skewers, and I didn't spray paint them. I didn't feel the need to. You can do so if you want to. I went ahead and I cut them to size to fit the inner part of my embroidery hoop. Make sure it was nice and snug, and you know, I used, you know, you can use, I used hot glue, and it was fine because the battery pack is not that heavy, so it's okay. So go ahead and place them in the middle there, space them out a little bit. And what you want to do is that when you know, glue on your battery pack, obviously you want to make sure that you don't, you know, you're able to open it, so when it's time to change your batteries, make sure to do that. So yeah, this was pretty good. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. So now, as far as hanging this, I'm using some thin wire from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to do it in 3 locations in my chandelier. I'm just going to loop a little pony bead. I found these also at the Dollar Tree. And what you want to do is you want to loop it through one of the pens. And you want to loop it through the one side of the wire. You want to loop it through about that much, that high, I would say, just like that. And then the other end, you want to, you want to measure the height to the other strand that you created, and this is going to be different for you. It depends how high or how low you want your chandelier to come down from the ceiling. I went ahead and measured it, and then I cut it to size. And so then I just grabbed it from behind. I don't know why I looped it, behind the chandelier. I could have looped it through the pen as well. It's just one of those things. Again, you're not thinking. So anyway, you kind of straighten out your bead there, and then you grab the shortest wire, and then you're gonna wrap that short wire tightly to the long one. You just want to secure it in place, just the way I'm showing you here. And there you have it. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up. They really do help me out, and it lets me know that you want more videos like this. So what you're going to do now is that you're going to strand another bead and then a pen, and you're going to alternate a bead and a pen, a bead and a pen, and then you're going to end up with a bead. Now I ended up using 4 pens per strand, and I created a total of 3 strands. Again, you're gonna use as many as you need. Again, it depends how short and how low you want your chandelier to come down, but it was perfect for me. And I decided to leave the hanging pens without the gold insert in them. I just thought it would be a little too much, and that's just kind of what I wanted from me. And so yeah, as you can see, I created 3. And this is the end result. What I did at the top, I gathered all the excess wire and I wrapped it around a loop, and then I hung that loop to the hook that's in my ceiling. And I just love the way that it turned out, you guys. I love the light effects. It's just beautiful. I don't know if you can notice a little crooked here and there. It was my first try, my first attempt. Overall, I really do love the way that this turned out. I think that this will look beautiful over as a dining room chandelier. Imagine just getting one of the larger embroidery hoops and doing this. Obviously you're going to use more pens, but it'll never amount to how much these really cost online. It's like, I don't know, double the fraction of the price, if that makes sense. So I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. And it's very lightweight, and it's beautiful, and you can use it anywhere, in your bedroom, in your vanity room, in your dining room. Like I said, it's just beautiful. Let me know what you guys think about this so far. But yeah, here I'm just showing you where the batteries are. You can't really tell unless you're looking straight up. I love the I like that it's a subtle light. I'm going to use this in my bedroom, so it kind of gives that subtle romantic little feeling going on. Anyway, this is another look here that you can use. I think this would be pretty in a teenager's room. You can put real flowers, dried flowers, fake flowers like I'm using here. I think it's a different look, and actually you can use this as a centerpiece if you really wanted to. You can put a glass vase in the middle of it and fill it up with flowers. I think that's a beautiful option as well. So coming right up for our next and final DIY, I went ahead and decided that I wanted to create kind of like a candle holder, and I had one of these leftover, Bath and Body candle container. Any glass container will do. And same concept, I went ahead and inserted the paper in some of them all the way, and then some of them I just inserted a little piece. I just kind of wanted to give it a variety, and I'm going to use also some clear pens as well. And so same thing that I'm doing now, I'm just kind of going around this circle 4 times of those 4 points, so I can level out my vase and it can stand straight so that it can be leveled this time. so we hope anyway. And so I want to do it those two there and then two on the other side. And then after that, you just continue gluing on your pens. Simple as that. This didn't take long at all. I really want to know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't, and for my followers that are always there and so kind, I appreciate you so much. Again, give me those thumbs up. They really help out my channel, and they just kind of keep me motivated. I think this is a time where we have to motivate each other, encourage each other, and do things on a budget, but still, you know, you can live elegantly and nicely and still do things on a budget. Why not? So yeah, I'm just going all around, creating my little pattern. Again, for this one, I'm creating a staggered look just to kind of match my chandelier. I'm really curious as to what kind of a take you would give this and the chandelier should you decide to do it for yourself. I'm really curious as to, would you use silver, would you use gold, where would you put it in your home? And so I'm using these Mosaic mirror tiles that the Dollar Tree used to have. Please, Dollar Tree, bring them back. But in the meantime, I stocked up when they were around. I will leave you a link down below so that you can purchase them from yourself. Amazon has tons of them. Really inexpensive, and I'm just placing them every so often in my candle holder. Again, I'm creating my own little pattern. You can create yours. I'm sure you guys will come up with fabulous ideas, and I want to see and I want to know what you guys end up doing. But yeah, and so this is the end result, what that's looking like. That's gorgeous. I think it reminds me of those Zgallerie candle holders. I know they have kind of like that staggered look too. They're like a clear candle holder, and they're kind of staggered. And so that kind of was my inspiration for this too. I really do love the way that it turned out. I did one. I'm going to create another one, of course. I want to let you know that I did leave the candle burning for a while, and the pens, obviously, they didn't melt and they didn't heat up at all. I think it's safe to say that you can burn a real candle. It's inside a glass container and it has enough ventilation. You can do the same concept with this. You can put flowers along the edges with a fake candle inside, or you can take the candle out and use it as a vase, right? So there you go, guys. I'm so happy that I'm back. I want to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye, everyone.